Well, hello everyone. It helps when I hit the go live button. I've been here talking to myself for about 4 minutes now, and I was like, wow, the chat's really quiet, and the numbers going down. I'm like, this is really weird. And then I realized, yeah, I didn't hit the go live button. Well, hello there. And welcome back to the Launchpad. This is our community hangout for January 2026, the first one of the year. We're going to try to do these at least once a month for public community hangouts. This is a time for you to ask any of those comments and questions that you have. If you want to hear my take on things, anything like that, this is a casual time to do so. So send those in the chat by tagging me at the Launchpad. If it's your first time here, hello. My name's Zach. I'm the founder and host here at the Launchpad Network. Here at TLP, it's our mission to inform and inspire the explorers of tomorrow because we believe that space is better together. You're probably more used to one of our live launch coverages or maybe one of our mission trackers or our 24/7 cameras, down at Starbase. But tonight's just going to be a bit more casual, just me hanging out. We're going to continue building the Lego that we did through the holiday season. Don't worry. It is at least space-themed Lego. This is the Space Shuttle and Space Shuttle carrier plane, and this is going to be part 3. We'll see how far we go. We've got like 8 or 9 bags left. I don't know if we're finishing it tonight, but I wanted to jump on right after that launch. We finally had a Falcon 9. Falcon 9 is back, and it's got a busy week ahead. We got at least 3 launches in the next 4 days. And it feels good to have back. We had not had a Falcon 9 launch since December 17th. Can you believe that long? That is the longest Falcon 9 drought or SpaceX drought since July of 2024. So it feels good to be back. It feels like a great way to kick off the year. And even better, it wasn't even a Starlink mission to kick off the year. It was actually a payload. Now, yes, they had ground support issues, so this was supposed to be one of the last missions of 2025, but small details. It's great to be back and getting into a big year, as I said on the launch stream. Welcome to the year of things that we have been dreaming of for years, if not decades. We are sending people back around the moon. This will be the year of catching a Starship, of Starship going orbital, the year of Starlink V3 coming online, the year of Neutron coming online. Hopefully more New Glens, more Vulcans, maybe a Falcon Heavy if we're lucky. There's so many things. We have no idea what China's going to do with their rocket providers. There's so much stuff happening over there. India's getting ready to test their crew capsule for their own crew missions. We got small vehicles, medium vehicles, and large vehicles coming online left, right, and center. And it's going to be a big, big, busy year. And I think if you've been on this journey with me over the last... what are we at? Technically, this is our birthday. I think it was January 2nd, actually. We had our first stream ever for launch. If someone wants to check that, don't watch the video. It was terrible. Don't watch it. But if someone wants to check what the date was of the first launch coverage we did, I think it was either the 2nd or the 4th of January. But this would technically be our 5th birthday, I think. 4th birthday? I don't know. Math. We're getting old. Yeah, it's awesome to be in another year at TLP. Last year was a year and a month, and we are glad to be finally out of that. And I feel like, the last few months we've taken some time to recharge, to replan, to re-strategize, and now we're going to dive headfirst into a really exciting year of spaceflight and hopefully an exciting end of the decade in spaceflight. Welcome to the second half of the 2020s. Can you believe that? We're now closer to 2050 than we are the year 2000. Let that sink in. I'd say another reference, but I know one of our teams in chat, and he told me the reference he was told, and I'm not going to say that because it's going to make us all feel very old. He can type it in the chat if he wants to, but it's great to have you guys hanging out here. If you have questions, let me know in the chat. As always, let me know where you're watching from. I can give some shout-outs here. I'm going to pull out the first bag, and we'll kind of just dive right into it. As we did before, we have all the different camera angles set up, so you should still be able to hear me. We got some of those bumping New Year's Eve tunes, hopefully still in the background for you. We got the instructions on screen, so if you guys want to follow along and see what I'm trying to work on or see where I get stuck, more likely that's what's going to happen. You can see that on your screen. I'm going to keep myself small so you can see what I'm doing. I try to keep it on the screen, but if there's something important, I'll pull it up and switch it over to the bigger layout here for you guys tonight. I also fixed the delay, which means there's 2 seconds. So if you say something in chat, I should actually be able to answer it rather quickly. So yeah, it's gonna be a great night hanging out with y'all. I see some people jumping in. Ian says he's currently building this set as well. We are close to the exact same building spot. What bag are you on, Ian? We are going to be starting on to bag 9. Just going to make a little bit of room here, because I don't think we're going to be working on the plane immediately. Aiden, am I going to be on Discord? Not exactly right now, but maybe a little bit later tonight or tomorrow. We'll see. Daker, sorry if I'm saying that wrong. How are you on your weight loss? Doing well. I mean, holidays, like everyone. Everyone gains weight over the holidays. It was expected. I was told by the doctors to expect it. But no, was actually really surprised how much I got to enjoy over the holidays. Obviously, really tiny portions. But really good. I think I'm at 108 pounds lost. If we keep going at this trajectory, we're going to hit kind of another big milestone in the next 30 to 40 days. So we'll see. Does Artemis 2 launch, or do I hit my next milestone first? But yeah, super excited. I think if you've been around for a while, this is probably the most energy you've seen me have in a very long time. I'm normally in bed at this point. So it is nice to be feeling a lot better, getting a lot of that drive and spark back. And yeah, as I said, last year was not an easy year. If you guys know everything that happened from December last year to basically the summer, and grief and PTSD and all that takes time to navigate. I won't say get over, because you don't actually get over it, but to navigate it. And I just really appreciate my team and the space they gave me for that, and that they held, most of them held on with me through that time, and for you guys for hanging out with me, or hanging in there with me while I navigated all that. It means the world that I was able to do that. But yeah, excited for the new year. Ian says, I'm taking a break from building the rest, but I'm on bag 9 now. Ha! So I'm just there. So I'm passing you. It's a race. You better keep building. Let's go, Zach from Jessica. Thank you. Congratulations. I appreciate it. Pop says it's a win. Appreciate it. Zach, can you stream Firefly missions? We're looking into what we can stream. There's certain things that if other YouTube companies, basically, you all know them. We're all 3-letter acronyms. We're TLP, and there's a couple others. If one of them are doing it, generally no. Unfortunately, they generally don't allow rebroadcasts, but that might not stop us. We're working on other ways. So we might not have pad cameras, but we're working on other ways of being able to bring those coverages to you. So we're working on it. If you happen to work for a launch provider and need a broadcast partner, hello, call us. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting year. Lots of things in the works. Some things I can talk about, some things I can't talk about. Trying to keep that in the screen there for you guys. Is that a decent angle? Yeah, that'll do. You're definitely going to beat me. I'll try to finish it tomorrow or even start again later tonight. We'll see. I don't know how long I'm going to go tonight. We'll see. My back, my upper back's already hurting. It was hurting before I hit start, but I said, you know what? I want to hang out and build with the community, so that's what we're going to do. I'm sorry you have got the flu there, Ian. Feel better. Oh, just talk about Lego. Gotta love some Lego. Dakota, if you don't mind, what music do you use in the background of the 24/7 streams? It's music that we have from Epidemic Sound, that we pay for it. To be honest, I don't know all the songs because there's quite a few. You're actually going to see a lot of that stuff change over the next 2 to 3 weeks. So yeah, excited for that. Some changes that we've been working on, or I've been working on, that will, yeah, hopefully take us to the next level. Again, I'm not going to release stuff till it's ready, but yeah, we're working on some stuff. If If I do go silent, it's probably because I'm trying to read what I'm supposed to be doing. But yeah, keep sending in those questions or comments. More than happy to answer them. I wouldn't get to do what I do if it isn't for you guys. So it's always fun getting to hang out with you guys and talk space, talk Lego, kind of any of that. Also, what private or government space companies will make a rocket more powerful than Starship? Right now, I don't think anyone's really got plans for that. New Glenn, I said it a while back. I told people, just watch. When New Glenn comes online, it's going to come online fast and hard. And that's what's happened. And now we have the New Glenn, what is it, 9x4? And there's rumors of 9x4x1 to have a third stage. I think there's a lot we don't know on what the future of New Glenn's going to look like. But I think there's a chance New Glenn could get more powerful than like Block 1 or 2 Starship, maybe. I don't know. I haven't actually like looked at the numbers. Maybe one of you guys has. But I wouldn't be surprised eventually Blue Origin works on something. But they got a ways to go. Air Force family, are you, Zach, are you still in Canada or do you plan to come? Are you still in Canada and do you plan to come back to Florida? Yeah, I'll be in Florida in, I should be in Florida hopefully in the next, like, what would we be at? 4 to 6 weeks. I'll hopefully be back down in Florida. Now it'll just be for a visit. Eventually I plan on getting something set up down there again. Not this year. 2026, definitely not. We'll see where we get to in 2027. I spent a lot to get down there this first time. And unfortunately, it just didn't work out. Tried to be smart with how we would do it and roommates and all that kind of stuff. And it unfortunately just really didn't work out. That it was, I don't want to say it was a waste of money. I learned a lot. I got to do a lot of things I always wanted to do. The biggest highlight was I got to have my grandparents come down for a bit of the winter and stay with me in my own home. And for those that don't know, I lost my grandfather last summer. So the fact that I still, that childhood dream of mine of getting to host them in my own home, I got to live out. Now, I was sick. That was the reason they got to spend as much time with me. So not the best reason, but yeah. So do I wish some of the money probably could have gone elsewhere and probably could have got you guys better coverage? Yes. But personally, I learned a lot. And I think something my grandfather always taught me is always be learning. So learned a lot, learned what I would do differently when I do it again. And yeah, we'll just see when that will be. See when the universe tells me that it's the right time to try again. But the nice thing is, by me being at home, it means what I was investing into rent and stuff, I can put into flights, which means I can travel a lot more, which is a bonus for me because I do love seeing the world. But it's a bonus for you guys because it means, you know, rather than that, the same amount of money that I was spending on rent for a month could cover the cost of me going on a trip to Europe to meet with a launch provider or to cover a launch, or, you know, 2 months of rent could cover flights to Australia and stuff like that. So there's a lot of opportunities that by being home, which is where I need to be right now for my health, for my grandmother and all of that, will also be a great opportunity to expand TLP, hire our first staff, and things like that. So yeah, super excited on what that future will look like. Sorry, I kind of rambled there for a minute, but it's a big answer to a small question. But I like to try to be honest with you guys. I feel like you guys earn that and deserve that. For the most part, there's some secrets we'll have to always keep, but big things like that, no. But yeah, excited to get down to Florida again in, it's crazy to think I could be down there in 4 weeks from now. I haven't been down since July last year. It's kind of crazy. I don't know where the year went. Well, I do. I had surgery, but yeah. Catching up on your guys' questions. John, when is New Blue? Yeah, the new Armstrong. See, I'm wondering if New Glenn will just evolve, that eventually the bigger one will be called New Armstrong. Fairmate, I have a question regarding Starlink missions. How many cameras are there on board SpaceX missions that we see, and how many do they have? We don't have a number. I mean, onboard cameras that we see, we see the booster down shot. We see the interstage shot. Sometimes we see a deployment shot, but we don't see deployment live anymore, but we know they have a deployment shot. I mean, we normally see 3 to 4 cameras if we're going to see cameras. But yeah, been a while since we've seen deployment live. But yeah, they've got tons of cameras. I mean, we see that with Starship. They have a ton of cameras. Winter Tea, I watched the launches and I'm on Discord, but I don't build Lego. But the first time watching, really relaxing. Just got off work, was trying to see to see on the sky for the launch. Yeah, it was a great launch. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you had a good shift at work. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Exactly, Air Force One. Live and learn. You always, if you live and make mistakes or get hurt, but you don't learn, that's when you fail. But if you live and make mistakes or get hurt and you learn, then it's not a full failure. Yeah, we got Dragon missions hopefully this year. Remy, a little bit earlier, said, what's my favorite set? That's a hard one. There's some sets that I don't have that I'd really like to get. That aren't space related. I have all the space related ones. But that goes on there. I'm going to just move the shuttle off the screen. Air Force, thank you so much. That is... Holy crap. Thank you so much for supporting at that level, man. That's incredibly generous. Just saying, just so you know you're appreciated. Thank you. That means a lot. 2025 was an expensive year. Very expensive year. So, thank you. That honestly means so much. You're gonna make me cry. Catching up on the chat. Keep sending those questions in if you have them. If only money grew on trees, right? I mean, technically it's paper. I mean, up here it's not anymore. I can't say that. Ours is plastic. Ginger, do you know who ULA is sold to, or is ULA thinking of selling? There were bids for companies that wanted to buy. Okay. I'm going to answer that in a second. We're going to quickly do this and close. Ooh. I'm going to try to close the landing. There we go. Because I need to be able to lay this kind of on its... This is kind of annoying. We're trying to put stuff on the bottom. ULA was considering being sold again. That company's had a history of being sold, merged, acquisition, all that. So that was... They did ask, apparently, for bids. We know Blue Origin submitted a bid. It's really interesting that Tori Bruno, the CEO of ULA, is now at Blue Origin leading their national security military division something. But we have not heard anything on what those bids are, like number wise, and we haven't heard anything on what the future of ULA will be. So we're definitely entering, I think, a year that ULA will see changes because they're very reliant now on Blue Origin because they use their engines. Now they've lost their CEO to Blue Origin. They have Vulcan, but that's kind of all that they have right now. So, yeah, a lot of uncertainty for ULA for this year. Well, not for this year, I mean, but for going forward. That'd be the correct word. Excuse me. Ian, thank you so much. I appreciate that super chat. Fortnite, life is all about learning. I found that out the hard way. We just got to keep pushing and learn from our mistakes. We are all proud of you, Zach. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks so much for that support too. I appreciate it. It was a year, but it's in the past, and once I navigate the debts that I have, then it'll be fully in the past. Demon, send him another 20. I want to see him cry. Why didn't you send it, Demon? Or just go back a few videos. I'm pretty sure there's some updates from last year where you can see it if you really want to see it. Hey, Denise, great to see you. Yeah, excited to work on the 747. It's starting to finally actually look like a plane. That's exciting. Do you think the Boeing Starliner should be canceled? Ooh. We're going straight for the hot takes. I don't think Boeing Starliner should have ever existed. Let's be honest. I don't know. I think there has been so much thrown into it that at this point it just has to be worked on to be successful. It'd be a NASA move to stop working on it now. Just throwing money away, and Boeing's not going to do that. Remember, just because nothing's been fully canceled by NASA, but just like, let's say NASA does cancel. Speculation hat going on here, not fact, speculation. Let's say something like that does happen. That doesn't mean that's the end of Starliner, right? Starliner, just like Dream Chaser, could continue in its own thing. It is its own thing. It was originally, they want to have it do missions to the other space stations, right? Like, we need to remember those are going to start opening up once we get these stations in orbit. So there's a lot of other places that Starliner can work. Well, if Starliner works, there's a lot of other places Starliner could go in the next 5 years, 10 years. I think the one issue I have with Starliner is Starliner was designed as a station craft, and I'm actually thinking of a video on this to kind of dive into it deeper. Starliner doesn't have a bathroom. So Starliner was designed to launch and go to a space station within like a set number of hours. Dragon, everyone's favorite spacecraft, was designed as a multi-day in-space vehicle. Right, so we've seen Fram 2, we saw Polaris Dawn, we saw Inspiration 4, right? So you can live in Dragon, that can be the whole mission. You could go to Hubble if you really wanted to and just be there. You don't need to go to a station. Starliner, you'd have to be wearing diapers the whole time. And I think that's one of the things a lot of people oversee with Starliner is, like, it's not a comfort craft. It is a point A to point B vehicle, from my understanding. So I think that's where there's a big difference, and I think that's where it'll limit its future. But if we get to a point where they can just throw one on a rocket, fuel it up, and go, then, it could have a future. But how quickly can you refurbish it? And, there's a lot of questions around it. But yeah, it'll have a future. I don't see it going anywhere. I prefer other vehicles. Now, if someone offered me a flight on Starliner, would I go right now? No. And I'll say that. But if they work on it and it gets better and it gets to having a track record like Dragon did 3-4 years ago, then yeah, I would consider it. But only if I was going directly to a station, not on a trip. Happy birthday. Happy New Year, Joe. Appreciate it. I've never really had an interest in any space launches ever, but I subbed to you because you explained. Thank you. I appreciate that. Ian, we need to do a Discord hangout sometime. I'd love to jump into VC with all of you. Yeah, I'm trying to jump in there a couple times a week. I've been in there a few times, but obviously I know you've been sick, so keep an eye out. I'll try to be in there. I don't know if I'll be in there tonight. We'll see how my back's going. It's one of my promises to myself for 2026. So I'll listen to my body because I'm still technically healing. But yeah, if I'm not in there tonight, I'll try to be in there sometime tomorrow or the next day, and trying to be in there a few times a week. Get our Discord active again, because we do have some really awesome people in the Discord. So if you guys haven't checked it out, you definitely should. It's free to join. If you are a member, there's a members only area. I was hanging out in there before the stream tonight, working on some stuff. Sometimes you get to see what I'm working on. Sometimes you don't. Depends what I'm working on. There's one of those pieces. Where's the other one? There it is. And I appreciate you saying that, Denise. Thank you. Darker. Also, I don't like the space shuttle. It was always unsafe. And remember the Challenger and Columbia. Yeah. Can never forget those. Obviously, I wasn't born for Challenger, but I would watch Columbia live. Yeah, horrific. And I've been to the memorials for Shuttle and Challenger. I've been to the KSC like visitor complex memorials. Apollo 1. I've had the. It's a weird sentence to say. I have had the honor and privilege of being able to go pay respects at that site. It's a heavy site. And unfortunately, a lot of media, when they get there, are normally on a time crunch to set up cameras. When I went, I didn't the first time because that's a memorial. And any other time I ever get the opportunity to go out there, I'm not going to be setting up cameras on top of the memorial. I would set it up on the grass or like around. It's not even, there is a little memorial, but I'll set something up on the grass away from the pad, but I'm not going to set up like around the memorial. That's not what that place should be. And yeah, it was hard to be there the first time. It was actually quite emotional. You haven't caught on. I can be an emotional person. But yeah, it's a heavy site. Yeah, shuttle though, like as a kid, I would have said, yes, I'd do anything to fly on one. Now, everything I know about shuttle, no. Definitely, what I've been doing is off the camera, sorry. So I just put these pieces on here and then attach that big piece that I was working on. It goes here. So we're starting to get that 747 shape. If you guys can't ever see what I'm doing, yell at me. And then I'll try to make sure that you can see it. The space mirror is as well. I've never actually had the time to go up and spend time at the space mirror. I've seen it from a distance, and it's a beautiful memorial. Very somber chat tonight. Wow, it's supposed to be New Year excitement, but no, it's important that we never forget them. They laid the pathwork for what we do now, and they can't be forgotten. This year marks 40 years since Challenger, right? And what's sad is most people that are in school right now probably have no clue that Challenger happened or even Columbia. Right? It's probably not taught. Obviously, people weren't alive, but it's not... they're not remembered. Sorry, I did that sticker off because I want to make sure I got it straight. Yeah. And the number on the plane now. Now I think we're doing the other side of what we started doing. Yeah. So we're basically going to duplicate everything I just did again. And this is going to be for the other side. I saw Columbia land at Edwards not long before the tragedy. It's very emotional. Oh, wow, Denise, that's not amazing, but amazing that you got to see it land at Edwards. I had the privilege of going on to Edwards once as a kid. Actually, I'm not sure which ship it was supposed to be that was supposed to land, and then they ended up going to Florida. So we ended up being there the day before it was going to land, and then they changed and went to Florida. So I didn't get to see it at Edwards, but we saw like the buildings, and my uncle at the time was military, so he was able to get me on because I was a kid. And that was really cool, really special to be on that facility. I was lucky enough to go on a few different facilities, not space related, but just like military related. Live a military kid life for a few days when I'd hang out with them. Zach, is there any rockets that you think are so useless that they should never exist and that they are just a waste of money? I'm not going to say names, but one of them's behind me. See if you can figure out which one. There's one mistake child rocket that should never have been made. But I'll give you another hint. Jobs program. What? Oh my goodness, he said it. Can you believe that he just said that on air? Oh my goodness. Wild behavior. And it's okay. Not everyone's getting. It's not New Shepard. And it's definitely not Starship. There, I narrowed it down. There's only 2 other ones on that side. Joshua saw a shuttle on 747 fly by the year before. Oh, that's cool. I never got to go to those either. And what was like kind of sad to realize as an adult is we were there because I used to live in Southern California. So I was down there when Endeavor came in. And I remember as a kid, I went outside to try to see if I could see it fly over. And it was like, well, why didn't we just go to LA? We were right there. We drove to LA for other reasons, but we didn't go see Endeavor. I think that was Endeavor. Come in. So, oh, that's another thing that's this year. I think the new shuttle exhibit in LA. I think that's late this year, but that'll be exciting to see. Really cool, full stacked exhibit. I'm gonna try to be there for you guys for the opening. No promises, but we're gonna try. I forgot her name, but it's the one with the big side boosters and it's a pretty orange. Ding, ding, ding. You have a winner of a rocket that should have never been made. Don't get me wrong. It's a cool looking rocket. It's a moon looking rocket. And I think that's why so many people love it. It looks like we're going to the moon. It doesn't look like we're going to Mars. It doesn't look like we're going anywhere else. Just to the moon, and it looks like it's 40 years old. Now, it's still cool, but yeah. There's a lot of other things they could have done with that money. A lot. If it had been done for cheaper, then maybe I'd support it, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens, see what Jared Isaacman does with it. I don't foresee him canceling it in the near future, but do I think we'll see like Artemis 10 fly on SLS? No. If you're just jumping in, thanks for being here. Just hanging out, answering your questions, talking space. hot takes on vehicles and rockets. Have a good night, Ian. Feel better. Only shuttle I've seen is Landis at KSC. Seeing that in Saturn V is by far one of the most incredible days of my life. Still not seen a launch yet. You got to see a launch, but yeah. The shuttle exhibit and the Saturn V exhibit. And when I say exhibit, I mean the whole, well, I don't really love all the stuff around shuttle. I like the shuttle and the Hubble and the Canada arm part, but I think there's a lot of stuff they did just for kids that didn't need to be done. But the pre-shows for shuttle and Saturn V and the reveals of those two vehicles are hands down the best things I've seen in my life in a museum. Now the Gateway exhibit, another story. I don't love the Gateway exhibit, but that's okay. Don't have to love everything, right? I'm also an adult. I also know a lot about space. I mean, half the time I go on the bus tour, I know more than the bus driver. I try not. If you're ever on a bus with me at the place, I really do try not to correct them unless they are so factually wrong that, yeah. I'll still never forget the time that one of the tour guides is like, oh yeah, and New Shepard will be launching a crew from here next week or next month, because this was just before the first New Glenn. And I was like, sorry, what? No, it won't. Never. But okay. That one I had to correct. But their job is tour guides, right? They live there constantly. Space moves so fast, I'm sure it's hard for them to keep up. But it is hard that people are trusting them to be factual. And if they can't keep up, I don't think they get really like briefings. I think that's something if KSC really wanted to improve, like they could do like a weekly update or weekly handout to the staff. I think that'd be really cool. But now I will say my camera's getting the overheat warning again, but it hasn't been on as long as it was the previous streams. Like we've only been live 45 minutes. So knocking on wood, we should be fine for a bit. But if for some reason that happens, you'll still be able to see what I'm doing and hear me. You just might lose this camera. And if that happens, someone yell at me in the chat. I hope the Artemis Accords are successful. I hope the heart of the Artemis program is successful. I think the Artemis program needs a refresh, though. It feels like a moon program from the 80s or 90s that we're just trying to do now. Our tour guy was incredible. There are a couple that are really incredible. Yeah, I really do need to get that fan. I have a couple for when I go on cruises. So I need to find one of them. This might be loud for a second while I go through Lego. Never mind, the bag was on top. I think that's a beautiful way of saying it. The Artemis program has the correct intentions and not the correct execution. 100% accurate. Well said. Its execution is 25 to 35 years too late. If we were doing this in the 90s, the execution would be prime. Oh, yeah, the Constellation. Well, that was the Ares part of the Constellation program. SLS was Ares, was it 5? Ares 4 or something? This orange monstrosity of a rocket has been designed multiple times over for the last 40 years. 45 years. Here we go, bag 10. We're going to For what it looks like, this will be the tail, so the end of the plane. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Ren in Washington. I'm not an SLS fan, but I'll admit it looks amazing. But it's mostly old tech in a new form factor. It's not even a new form factor. It's just stretch shuttle boosters. It looks like you took the end of a space shuttle and strapped it to the bottom of the ET, and then you strapped an Apollo vehicle on the top. That's basically SLS. I mean, I feel like I drew SLS as a kid when I was bored. Don't get me wrong. I hope it works. I hope everyone that flies on it's great. I hope we land on the moon and beat China and then have presidents on moon and Mars and live our Jetsons future. I 100% do. But when there's other options, and there could have been more things if money had been spent differently. Like, I bet we could have built a whole new rocket for how much they've spent on SLS. Because keep in mind, a lot of SLS was parts that were in a hangar and garages, right? All the SRBs are from Shuttle. All the engines for the first 3 missions are from Shuttle. This core stage is derived from the ET stage. It's using the same engines as I just said from Shuttle. So it's, a similar concept. Yeah. There's things that should have been done differently. Again, I'm not a rocket scientist or an engineer. Technically, I'm a college dropout, but I think I've been pretty successful for doing so. I think I'm doing just all right. I have thought about going back, though. But I feel like it'd be weird. Especially now when you go out and, like, people know you and, like, yeah, kind of gets weird. But it is cool meeting you guys out in public. It's cool when you guys come up. Don't ever be afraid. Especially if you see me at KSC. I'll put this out there a few times before Artemis. If you see me in Florida or anywhere, feel free to come say hello. I don't bite. It's been funny being at KSC and hearing people like, wait. And I wasn't on camera a lot last year, right? So there's a lot of people that don't know what I look like. And it was funny because people are like, wait, that guy sounds like the launch pad. And I was like, do I walk up to them? Yeah, we'll just let them have their day. But it was kind of funny. It's happened a few times. Now you know what I look like. And if that was you, hi, I saw you. Yeah, Jared's got a lot of work ahead of him. I think a lot of what he wrote in Project Athena was interesting. I've not read every page of it, but I've perused it. Yeah, I'm still happy to answer questions. Keep sending them in. But what type of stuff do you want to see this year? Like, what type of content do you want to see? What type of videos? What type of anything? If you could pick anything we do this year on TLP, what would it be and why? Let me know in the chat. That was just the design of it. There is no why to that. It's just that's what they decided. Did I miss something? Am I blind? No, it's there. It wants this like this, and then it wants this like this. But those don't attach. Oh, yes, they do. There we go. Like that? No. Like that. There we go. Was it hard to get that piece? I just wasn't understanding what they wanted me to do. And then I read it again, and yeah. Sometimes it helps when you read it. We'd love to see more of these chill streams, be it building Lego, playing KSP, answering questions. Yeah, I'm going to bring these back. I used to do these a lot when I first started, and then I honestly thought you guys didn't want them because you guys wanted like launch coverage and professional coverage, and to me, this was the opposite of that. So I kind of pulled back from doing these. Now, lucky for you guys, if you really want them, I have a ridiculous amount of Lego to build. So we'll be set for Lego probably for like months. But yeah, I'm happy to do these. They're fun. Oh, what? I think I did it wrong again. Oh, I see what I did. Yep, did that wrong again too. There we go. Whoa, that one just literally exploded. But yeah, no, I'm happy to do these if it's what you guys like. I mean, I'm going to be building it anyway, so may as well. Can you do Legos on Discord? Yeah, I'm going to do some Legos on Discord. But if I do a set on stream, then I'll probably only do that set on stream. And I'll probably start a different one for like Discord only. Just that way, if people are watching and they really want to see like a set be finished, they can watch it in the same place. So I'm probably going to do the Artemis SLS set, like the full stack with the pad and everything. That'll probably be the next set on a stream, I think. Maybe Space Station, I'm not sure. And then I do have the new SLS Technic set coming, hopefully next week. So we might do that first. That might be Discord. I'm not sure. I'll figure it out. I might do a poll. I can add a poll for it. I'll add a poll here in just a second. See what you guys want the next set to be. I saw someone was disconnecting. Denise, I'm sorry if I missed you, but have a great night. Thanks for being here. Enjoy your dinner. Can you do it today on Discord? No. No, I'm going to limit the Lego sets to probably like 2 to 4 hour streams. And it depends on days that we have launches, things like that. It is kind of nice to do it right after a launch because you guys are already here. So it depends on the time. But also, I'm not going to do this at like 4 in the morning. So, and I still have a lot of other work to do. SL set is amazing. ISS cool. You already you're going to have to tell me how to motorize it because I would like to do that. So if that's not hard to do, maybe you can give me info on how to. How did you already get it? It came out like yesterday. And my store said it wouldn't be able to be delivered for like a week. I guess maybe you went in store. I know some people did that. I did not go out. It was cold and freezing rain. And Zach doesn't do those things. Good night, Denise. No, was it hard for me to get the Lego set? Most of these I've ordered like the day that they announced them. So normally they arrive like the day of delivery, like wow, what a sentence. Day of delivery. That's shocking, Zach. And that's when your package arrived. The day of release. because normally the pre-orders are like earlier. So I've normally been pretty lucky in that sense. But like this set I've had sitting in a box waiting to be done since last summer. So there you go. That makes it. Yeah, I was gonna say if your local store had one, that makes sense. Yeah, my local store is I have two, and they're both in malls, and yeah, I don't go to them very often. How am I supposed to do this? This is supposed to go on top and line up flush with that. But then this is in the way. Oh. Because I put this bar on the wrong part. Ow. There we go. There we go. See? Follow instructions. Stay in school. There we go. Oh, okay. Yeah, the Lego stores I heard sold out pretty quick. But there was a lot of stuff that came out that day. There was like a Stranger Things set and a bunch of other stuff. I'm excited when I get my Enterprise D for Star Trek. That'll be a Discord stream. Or streams. I feel like that's going to be a long one. That'll probably take a couple weeks. Maybe a month. I feel like I probably won't get to do that till Artemis is launched. Use the Force. I've learned you don't force Lego. Otherwise, you regret it hours later. Approaching that hour mark. Not sure if I'll pause after this box or this bag, or I might do one more and then do it there. Not sure yet. Was gonna get a little bit of other work done tonight, so. Oh, the Mall of America. That'd be crazy. I mean, it's basically my mall. West Ed. They're owned by the same people. The Gurmesians. Then they put both of our malls up as collateral to build the new one in New York or New Jersey. The Dream one. And then it's been like a total fail. Did I do this wrong? No, there we go. Wait a minute. Did I do this wrong? But you're all there like yelling at me like, Zach, you did it wrong. Hey Angie, how's it going? No, I do not think Starship 12 will be January 23rd. The pad's not ready. And a lot has to happen with that pad before they'll launch from it. I think we'll be lucky if we get February. Now, I don't know for sure, but yeah, the pad's definitely not ready. Not currently. Not for full launch operations, right? Like they're going to have to do a lot of testing. They're going to have to test the boosters. They're going to have to test the ships. It's basically almost like a full restart, right? Because it's a new ship. It's a new booster. It's a new pad. It's a new plumbing system. There's a lot that's going to have to go right. I mean, heck, look at the first one. It exploded. Right now, they're targeting February 6th, and I've confirmed that with Canada a couple weeks ago. So I believe that is what they are currently targeting. Do I think it will launch on February 6th? No. If Artemis 1 was any sign of what to expect, I would go off of that. I really hope this time when we go for a window for launch, it goes in that window. And isn't like a cancel and then we have to go again in, what was it, like 2-3 months later? It's like August, November. So I hope I don't have to do 2 trips because it's very expensive. But I would be surprised if it goes the very first attempt. This first window. So that's very tight. But NASA confirmed without giving details that they're less than 2 weeks away from rollout. So that's huge. We'll finally have a big orange rocket back on the pad. So that'll be exciting. And we'll, of course, do as much coverage as we can with all the stuff. We obviously are navigating not having our own press site cameras, but we will do as much as we can with what we have for you guys. It was like a 3-month delay. We were there in August, and then they tried for like a week and a half, and then it didn't happen, so we all went home, and then they went in November. I've just got some other things that we're working on for y'all that are some amazing opportunities, but we can't really do them until Artemis is done because there's a risk of overlap, and then I would be one place when I need to be the other. So we're trying to navigate that. I do not know what this is. Oh, that's the tail. Can we not attach that yet? Nope. We're definitely missing something. This thing is long. I don't know where I'm going to put this. Let's see. Page 126. Ooh, we do a lot. That's all in that one bag? Wow. 25 pages. That's when we get to attach it. Okay. Though I would like to do another bag, I think I'm going to call it there at bag 11. I know we only did 2 bags tonight. But we'll try to do this again in the next few days. I'll bring this back here. So kind of hard to... Oh, my camera died too. None of you yelled at me that the camera died. But yeah, so how do I do this? There's what we just built, the tail. And then we did some work on the actual like front and the side of the planes. Or plane. But yeah, I think we'll wrap it there. I'm not sure when we'll do this again. Probably in the next few days. Might make it public, might make it members only, so stay tuned to it. I try to at least do, a little bit of notice when we're going to do one of these, at least by an hour or two. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out. I see one more question coming in. You're not allowed to leave till you're finished. Well, too bad. I can push the end stream button. I can also push this button, insert ad. FSB is the Launchpad, a one-man show I watch, and it looks like they have a lot of people. We're not one man. We do have a team, but it is not as big as it has been in the past, and we're working on doing that. So if you guys are interested in joining the team, applications are open. But no, the other organization you're talking about, yeah, they got more people. They also have a lot more budget currently than we do, but we're working on that, and we got some big ideas and some big things we're working on that they're not doing. So yeah, not a one-man team, but always room for more people. I will basically put it this way: we are at the point of we have so many opportunities that I'm having to say no to things because I can't be everywhere at once, and we don't have enough people to do all the opportunities. But all those opportunities expect me to be there. So yeah, it's interesting. So we try to have a team space idea. Everything space is better together. Yeah. Every organization has its vision and its mission, and that's ours. But with that, that's going to do it for me here tonight. If you haven't joined us over on the TLP Discord, make sure to do so. It's free to join. But if you are a member, make sure to link your YouTube and your Discord. That'll be what gets you access to the members-only areas that we're going to start picking up with activity again. And yeah, I will hopefully see you back here tomorrow night for the first Starlink of 2026. Air Force family. The other page is too commercial for me. I like it here better. Okay, that's good to know. Interesting. But yeah, that's going to do it for us here tonight. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye. The transmission is ending. This is when you go watch the 24/7 Starbase stream and you can keep chatting together. This is the end. Why are you still here? Have a good night. Bye, everyone. We'll see you next time.